The M6 countries made their move and imposed an embargo on Mars at the end of last week's episode. And just as Happy Valley was beginning to realize the true cost of resistance, the Titan mission may have changed everything. In this video, I'll break down everything that happened in episode 7 and more importantly, what it means for the rest of the season. My name is Sasha and this is my breakdown of For All Mankind Season 5 Episode 7. If you enjoy Apple TV breakdown, recaps, and review, this is exactly what I do on this channel, so consider subscribing. Now the episode starts with a 6-month time jump and opens up with the disaster scenario. The members on board of Sojourner T gets a distress call from Cosmos One. The spacecraft isn't decelerating fast enough to reach Titan orbit and land, and are being pulled straight into Saturn. What's worse, Sojourner T are on the exact same trajectory and may be heading towards the exact same fate. Back in Happy Valley, Alex is working in the greenhouse dome with his now girlfriend Lily, but he's clearly worried that his mom could be suffering the same fate as the Cosmos One crew. We then get confirmation that the Ison base has secretly been helping resupply Happy Valley. However, the M6 countries are beginning to suspect Ison involvement, forcing the base to stop its support in order to avoid war breaking out back on Earth. The Ison informs the Son and Daughters of Mars, the SDM Council creating to govern Happy Valley, and the news comes as a massive blow since the harvest in the greenhouse domes still aren't ready. Lee, who returned to Happy Valley as soon as the hostage crisis began, reveals they only have enough supplies left for 2 months. Not everyone in Happy Valley is happy about the standoff with the M6 countries. Discouraged after 6 months of standoff and the degrading living conditions, around 200 of their residents request permission to return to Earth. Realizing they can't hold people against their will on Mars, the Council tasks Miles with speaking to Alida, who remain in charge of Moxie, about organizing a return mission for anyone wanting to go home. Meanwhile, aboard Sojourner T, Alida explains to the crew that Cosmos One disaster was caused by the rush timeline to land on Titan. Their original trajectory appeared correct, but the calculations for Titan's atmospheric density were wrong. Helios has since redone the calculations, but the risk remains significant. Despite Kelly objecting, even invoking her father Apollo 10 regrets, the captain ultimately decided to abort the mission and calculate the return to Mars. Palmer and his faction have been carrying out hit-and-run raids against the SDM, all with Dev's knowledge and cooperation. They successfully deplete much of the SDM medical supplies, though they fail to have any impact on the food reserves. Knowing full well that the SDM could survive for quite some time, Dev is planning something much bigger and riskier. While celebrating Alex's birthday, Lily calls him in the middle of the night and invites him to the dome for a surprise party. The celebration quickly turns into a choreographed dance sequence set to Starships by Nicki Minaj. But then disaster strikes. In what appears to be a targeted attack, the roof of the dome ruptures, causing rapid depreciation. 1 person is killed and 7 others are critically injured. In the end, 6 domes are completely lost. The destruction of the harvest reduces the Happy Valley's remaining food supply from 2 months to just 2 weeks. The number of citizens requesting to return to Earth rapidly grows, and now even includes Alida herself. The SDM Council knows that Palmer and Devs were behind the attack, but by this point, they are running out of options. When Palmer informs devs about the injuries caused by the sabotage, devs appear genuinely devastated. However, he doesn't seem willing to stop what he started. Back on board Sojourner, Kelly, essentially disobeying command, overrides the burn intended to slingshot the ship around Saturn and back to Mars, forcing the crew to continue toward Titan instead. The news eventually reaches Miles, who rushes to Moxie and convinces Adida to broadcast Sojourner's communication throughout the entire base. Alex and Lily arrive at Moxie just in time to hear confirmation that Sojourner has successfully entered Titan's atmosphere and about to safely land. The episode ends with the entire Sojourner mission crew stepping onto Titan together at the exact same time. First, let's start with the obvious. The successful Sojourner landing on Titan will likely have major positive impact on the morale in Happy Valley. That's really great news for the SDM Council. After the attack on the domes, the number of people wanting to return to Earth was rapidly growing, but a successful mission on Titan could give the colony something it desperately needed: hope. Maybe enough hope to help them hold a little bit longer. That said, this still isn't a victory for the independence of Happy Valley, at least not just yet. Their food situation remains critical, with only about 2 weeks of ration left after the destruction of the domes. At this point, their best hope may still be the Ison base eventually deciding to help them again. Going back to the Titan mission, after everything the crew risked to get there, it's hard to imagine the mission simply turning around and be heading back to Earth immediately. So the real question becomes, what exactly are they about to discover on Titan? Or at least, what issue will they encounter? And then there's Dev. Part of me still believes he could turn things around. I know he believes that the SDM is destroying the hope of a tomorrow on Mars, but the fact that innocent people were injured during the dome attack clearly affected him. The question now is whether that guilt will finally change his views and push him to stop sabotaging the SDM. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe, it's greatly appreciated. I'll see you next week for the episode 8 breakdown. Ciao.